And so that's the thing is now you don't have anything to really sit on, and this is something you have to try out. And it took me a while to find my comfortability to do something like that. But like the thing is, most people, it's not something they really enjoy. It's not something comfortable for them. And so the experience is they hold on to it until they have nothing else to hold on to. And I always say, until your own O-ring doesn't work anymore,
Yeah.
like you're going to ruin your O-ring. And so they stress out and they're like, I got to go. And they're running. And so now you're not looking for a good spot to go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
You're not making sure you're prepared for it and everything. And then it's a very stressful, miserable experience. And I've had kids come back with their pants around their ankle crying because they have fecal matter all over them, and that's not something you want to deal with.
Or they come back missing one sock. That's the worst one.
You would not believe how many times these kids, I'm like, guys, socks are there's way better stuff because I'd rather use my socks for my feet than wiping my butt.
I was talking to one of the guys at work the other day, and he was like, yeah, I left a really nice beanie out in the desert one time. I was like, you used your beanie? He was like, it was that or cut off my sleeve. I was like,
I'd rather cut off my sleeve than use my beanie. Yeah. Or you have the kid where you come back and they're like, how was that? They're like, great. And then you go over in that area and there's a pair of underwear sitting there. Just like, I love that story. But
so you're a big advocate of like trying to set up a time.
Well, for me personally, I when I'm in the wilderness and I'm going to be there for multiple times where I know that we're hiking, we don't have a specific place to go to the bathroom, I take the time out through my day and I say, okay, at this time I'm going to go out, I'm going to find a good spot. And I sometimes get people go like, I kind of walk a little bit farther away because I like being alone, and I find a good spot and I sit there for a little bit and I take my time. And by doing that, I'm not rushed, I'm not stressed out, and it's a very healthy bowel movement instead of I gotta go and strip down your. I mean, there is times when you have a stomach flu or something, you just gotta
go. Yeah,
I've done that where I spray painted a couple of trees out there. They're like, did you bury it? Bury what?
If you started the show eating a sandwich, have you put down the sandwich by this time?
Because we're going to recommend you do that.
Yeah.
But and that's the thing. And there's different stances. So there's the squat.
Yep.
Which I'm not a big fan of.
There's two different variations of the squat.
Explain that.
So you have your basic squat, which I would call the catcher squat, because you're not usually on your heels for it. If you are, a lot of the kids would always call that an Asian squat, and I'm no, that's just a squat, guys. But so there's the catcher squat and everything. Mm-hmm. So you're leaned back, up on the balls of your feet and everything, squatted down. Usually, trying to. I actually take one hand and like pull my pants that are around my ankles like forward to make sure there's no splash radius. So I knew somebody else who
would actually take their pants off completely.
Yeah,
just to keep them clean, save them away, and like, hey, I'm doing, so yeah.
And then the other variation is kind of like you're more leaned over on one side. And if you have either a Bowie knife or a tomahawk, they are... Okay, so fun fact about these two tools, right?
Yeah. So
not only are they multi-tools for various different forms and functions, but a good tomahawk in length is about the length from your middle knuckle to your elbow.
Okay.
From the top of the head to the end of the handle, right? For various different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
A Bowie knife is about the same length and everything. You'll find... For the Bowie knife, that's the length between the armpit and the top of the belt on most men's torsos. Because when it was first becoming popular and everything, gentlemen needed to be armed, but weren't supposed to show that they were armed. Mm. So that's why it's that length. But what I found that both of them work really, really well is you can actually set them down to your side and everything and rest your arm on them.
Oh, that's nice.
And so you can kind of lean, whatever side you're leaning towards, you can kind of have a little bump rest over there and everything, so you're not having your legs go asleep on you or trying to balance there. So if you don't have a good balance, that's a good version.
Yeah. So some of the other ones I tried out and I experienced was the tripod.
The tripod is
where
you
do your 2 feet and you take one hand behind and you lean back like a crab kind of thing.
There is then the actual crab with both hands.
Crab with both hands. It's just that you're doing a balancing act over your mess sometimes, and one sneeze and you can fall into it. So that's the one thing I don't like about it. The other one I liked was the wall sit. Basically, thinking about the gym where you would put your back against the wall and you'd sit there. I would find like a rock or a tree or something where I can lean against it, and it was more of a natural position for me. And then I don't know if I am I don't think anybody else really does, is where I take like a log or a rock that's sit level, and I put one side of my butt cheek on it.
Yep.
And the one other side off.
Yeah.
And so you're still, you're doing your business, but it feels more natural.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're still supporting your body weight with something else.
You're supporting your body weight, because that's the other thing is I hate is when you have nothing to support, you're just supporting yourself. And sometimes it gets a little, straight. You've been there for a while too, and you're like, okay, I'm balancing over this, and I don't want to fall into it. I've seen that. I've seen.
I was gonna say the coup de grace king that I found of the natural sitting positions is to find that ever elusive. It's low-hanging tree branch with a Y fork on it.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
That is nature's toilet seat.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
Oh, and it's actually quite comfortable. It depends on the tree, though.
Depends on the tree.
Howdy, y'all. Coyote here. If you enjoyed the clip you just heard, you can listen to the whole episode on Spotify, Apple, Pandora, or anywhere else you like to listen to your podcasts on. And if you really like the clip you just heard, please consider giving us a like or click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on new episodes coming at you every week.